Hey there, it's Dr. J with Christian Connection, and today I want to share with you part one of Thoughts from the Life of Ruth. But before I get into the video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you like videos that have to do with encouraging you in the faith, hope, and love of our Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, I am here in Ruth chapter 1 on BibleGateway.com, and I am specifically going to be looking at the last few verses of this chapter, but I want to give you a little overview of what has taken place from the beginning of the book of Ruth, or the beginning of the chapter. So we have here, as you can see, I'm going to just kind of scroll and summarize. Elimelech moves his family to Moab. So Elimelech is married to Naomi, and Naomi is unfortunately widowed. Her husband Elimelech dies, and her two sons then get married, and they live together with their mom and their wives for 10 years, and eventually her sons pass away as well. And so Naomi and her daughters-in-law intend to stick together, but Naomi actually tells them, go back to your mothers. I don't have a husband to help me to bear more sons for you. And would you really wait around for them to grow up? And so Orpah, one of her daughters-in-law, says, yeah, I'm going to go. And she leaves. But Naomi says that she's going to stick around. And she said, your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. I'll go wherever you want, wherever you go. And so she remains faithful to her. But look at this. Specifically in verse 18, it says, when Naomi saw that Ruth, I'm going to just highlight this on the screen, from 18 to 22, so we're going to look and focus. When Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to go with her, she said nothing more. So the two of them continued on their journey. When they came to Bethlehem, the entire town was excited by their arrival. Is it really Naomi? The women asked. Don't call me Naomi, she responded. Instead, call me Mara, for the Almighty has made life very bitter for me. We'll pause there for a second. So Naomi is returning home to Bethlehem. Bethlehem actually means the house of bread. And so she is returning to a place of provision. But notice in verse 21, it says, I went away full, but the Lord has brought me home empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has caused me to suffer and the Almighty has sent such tragedy upon me? And we'll stop right there too, because she said, call me Mara. Mara means bitter. So in other words, she's saying, I'm bitter. I'm not Naomi anymore. I'm bitter, so call me Mara. I'm bitter for the pain and the hurt and the suffering that I've had to experience. And now I don't have anything, especially as a woman in the time that Ruth was living, and in her culture, all of her wealth was tied up in who she was married to and whether or not she had sons. They're the ones that take care of the family, especially as far as finances and provision are concerned. But she comes to the house of bread, not realizing Bethlehem, the house of bread, is a place of provision. But even look at the scriptures here. It says in verse 22, so Naomi returned from Moab, accompanied by her daughter-in-law, Ruth, the young Moabite woman. They arrived in Bethlehem in late spring at the beginning of the barley harvest. And barley is an ingredient that is used in bread. And so there is opportunity for provision to be made unto Naomi and to Ruth, but she's saying, I came back empty. If you recall, Jesus was born in Bethlehem, the house of bread, the house of provision. He is the bread of life unto us. And oftentimes, as you can see here, because of the bitterness we experience, we miss the provision of God. We miss that what we're looking for is right before us, because all we can see is the negative in our situation. And unfortunately, like what Ruth was doing here, sometimes our Lord provides for us through other people, but our bitterness causes us to push them away. And we'll see more in the book of Ruth how this is absolutely true, that God provides for Naomi through Ruth, provides for her through someone else. Again, but this is the very person that Naomi was trying to push away. She said, don't stay with me because I'm an old woman. I can't give you sons. I can't give you a husband. I can't give you sons of mine to become your husbands. Or if I do, you're not going to want to wait around, right? She's trying to get rid of her. Have you had the experience of people in your life trying to push you away? No, you don't want to be my friend because this always happens when I make friends. Or no, you don't want to be in a relationship with me because I'm not good at relationships and, it's not really worth it. I'm going to disappoint you. I always disappoint people, right? And so sometimes out of their own experiences, their bitterness rises up and you get to see a side of them that seems strange because you don't understand. You're like, we have had no negative experiences. Why are you pushing me away? Right? And sometimes people do it out of fear. Perhaps Naomi was fearful of losing Ruth, or perhaps Naomi was fearful of Ruth losing her since she was a woman who was aging now, right? But sometimes fear, bitterness, our past experience dictates our choices in the way we behave. But I'm grateful to God because look at Naomi is going to Bethlehem, the house of bread. If we would go to Bethlehem, the house of bread, where our Lord Jesus was born, or not literally go there, but if we would access Jesus, who he himself is the bread of life, we would have the provision we need even to overcome the bitterness we experience. We would have the provision that we need even to begin to build healthier relationships now than what we've had in the past, right? We'll have the provision that we need to have patience with the people around us who try to push us away when we're trying to show them love and kindness and give them friendship, right? So this is just one thought that I say we can take away from Ruth, specifically from Ruth chapter 1. Don't allow bitterness to hinder quality relationships in your life. Don't allow bitterness to hinder you from seeing that the provision that God has for you is right before you. So I hope this is encouraging to you. Again, this is just the first part of a series. There are 4 chapters in the book of Ruth, so I'm probably going to record 4 videos, one for each chapter, and give you some nuggets from each. I hope this is encouraging to you. If it is, go ahead and drop me a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. I will see you on the next one. Be blessed.